For every loved MCU actor, there is one who is hated by everyone. Starting with Tatiana Maslany as Jennifer Walters, aka She-Hulk, it seemed like a perfect casting, but when She-Hulk Attorney at Law finally dropped on Disney+, Marvel fans didn't just reject the show, they rejected her. She-Hulk was marketed as a legal comedy with a superpower twist, but what fans got was something far more chaotic. It broke the fourth wall, dodged traditional story structure, and constantly mocked Marvel itself. It was a show that didn't seem to take its universe or its audience seriously. In Episode 3, Jennifer Walters, on volume full She-Hulk form, is seen twerking with Megan Thee Stallion in her law office. Many Marvel fans saw it as the lowest point in the franchise's history. Moving on to Tom Holland. When Marvel and Sony rebooted Spider-Man for the third time in under 2 decades, expectations were sky high, but Tom Holland nailed the role in a way that felt effortlessly authentic. Even legendary comic writer Stan Lee, the man who co-created Spider-Man, once said that Tom Holland was the best live-action version of the character.
Tom is just the way I had pictured Spider-Man being when I created Spider-Man.
But Tom's appeal goes far beyond the screen. Unlike some actors who feel distant or overly media-trained, Tom has always seemed like a genuine fan of the Marvel Universe. He's passionate. He geeks out. He grew up loving these movies, just like we did. Of course, there's Zendaya. Let's be honest. Fans love a good on-screen, off-screen romance, and Tom and Zendaya's real-life relationship made the Peter-MJ pairing feel even more magical. Tom Holland cares about his Spider-Man. He really wants to make the best Spider-Man movies possible. Always sets the comment section on fire. Brie Larson. Back in 2018, while promoting Captain Marvel, Brie made headlines when she spoke out about diversity in film criticism. She said she noticed that the press covering her films was overwhelmingly white and male, and that she didn't hate that demographic, but wanted to open the door for more diverse voices.
For him about A Wrinkle in Time. It wasn't made for him.
Wrinkle in Time. It wasn't made for him. Now, while her point was about inclusion, many online twisted her words. Suddenly, she wasn't just an actress. She was a man-hater, a diversity hire, and the next actress is Elizabeth Olsen. Elizabeth first joined the MCU in Avengers Age of Ultron back in 2015. And let's be honest, that film didn't give her much room to shine. Her accent was inconsistent, her character's motives were all over the place, and she was mostly there as a side plot. But even then, fans noticed her. There was something intense, something real about her performance. Whether she was grieving the loss of her brother Pietro or ripping Ultron's heart out, Wanda Maximoff had emotional weight. But what made people fall in love with her was WandaVision. When Disney Plus launched WandaVision in 2021, it flipped the entire MCU formula. This wasn't a traditional action series. It was a psychological deep dive into grief, trauma, and loss, disguised as a sitcom. Even when Marvel fumbled, Elizabeth held it together. After WandaVision, Marvel had a golden opportunity to explore Wanda further. Instead, they kind of rushed her villain arc in Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. And while the writing left many fans confused or upset, nobody blamed Elizabeth. In fact, most fans said she was the best part of that movie. Her performance was so convincing, she actually made Wanda's descent into darkness feel tragic, because over the past few years, Anthony Mackie, the MCU's new Captain America, has slowly gone from a background favorite to a controversial figure among Marvel fans. He had memorable moments, the "on your left" gag, the airport fight in the Civil War, even the subtle character work in Endgame when Steve hands him the shield. That moment was emotional, earned, and fans were excited to see where Sam would go next. But then came the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. The series had potential, but the writing felt uneven, and worst of all, Sam's character. His final speech to the GRC, while well-intentioned, came off to many viewers as forced and out of place, more like a TED Talk than a superhero moment. But then Anthony Mackie made it worse, because off-screen, he's made headlines for all the wrong reasons. Fans wanted Captain America 2.0, but they got someone else entirely. Brave New World was an okay movie. The film earned $289.4 million. Still its low performance in MCU, a man who didn't just win over Marvel fans, he defined them. Because when you talk about the most loved actors in the MCU, you're talking about Robert Downey Jr., the man who built this universe from the ground up in a cave with a box of scraps. He brought something no one expected: swagger, wit, depth, and a magnetic presence that made Tony Stark feel real. This wasn't a perfect Boy Scout or a bland billionaire. This was a genius, a jerk, a visionary, and RDJ played every shade of this flawlessly. He carried the Infinity Saga, and from Iron Man to Endgame, RDJ was the emotional and narrative centerpiece of the entire MCU. His chemistry with every cast member elevated every scene, whether it was snarky back and forth with Steve Rogers, mentor moments with Peter Parker. He gave the franchise balance. And then came Endgame, where he delivered arguably the most powerful performance in the entire MCU.
I love you 3000.